Hello, this is Peter Lander here from Battlefield Sports. This speech is really talking about the success factors of the business. And that really brings me on to the next thing, which is really success factors. You know what? We're in the organised groups business. Right? I mean, that's really important. Right? Passing trade might be an organised group of often a family or something like that, but we're about organised groups. You know, an organised group has a few things that you really, really want. Right? They have an organiser, and goodness knows that's important. You know, a lot of people say they're going to do something one day, but unless someone organises them to do it, it ain't happening. You need an organiser. Right? A budget is really useful too. Right? And a sense of urgency is vitally important. And the things that drive urgency are things like, you know, for the church group, there'll be a youth group organiser, and you know, we've got to organise something for our group next month. For a birthday party, it's got to be somewhere near the kid's birthday, right? It can't be delayed, right? School group, particularly, there might be end of year breakup. It might be in the holiday entertainment, right, or something like that. But it's going to happen in the holidays. There's always an organiser of the group and a sense of urgency and some budget to pay for it. Right? And then on the budget side, look, I have been through this thing from beginning to end. Right? And I have really come to the conclusion, without any doubt at all, that we are in the entertainment business. Right? We're not in the sports business. And that's really important. Right? All the successful operators I've known over who've lasted the distance, right, will tell you pretty much they're in entertainment. You know, what does that mean? What does that entertainment mean versus the sport? Why is that important? Well, firstly, people will pay a lot more for a one-off special event than they will pay for something they do every week or even 2 to 3 times a week like a sport. Right? And we need to get that higher dollar per person. We really do. Right? Especially if you're in a city. Less so in a regional. Your costs are probably lower. You can have players play a lot more. It's a little bit different of a beast. And I've run in regional areas and I've operated there too. Right? But once I move looking at the cities, major populations, you really need to be drawing on a very wide audience who come and play from time to time. And will pay a premium to do that. You know, you really, really want to be getting $25, $30 per person, maybe even more per time they're there. Right? And that's quite a lot as a sport, but it's very reasonable as a special entertainment where we leave you fantastic memories, right? So think about that in terms of the entertainment. Now, what does that also mean? Entertainment is not the same as sport, because in entertainment, you know what, if you need to, you should be able to rig the games. You need to make justice so everyone wins. Now, if we run a 4-game session, say 4 15-minute games over 2 hours, you know, we're going to do our damnedest to make sure that every team wins at least one game. 2-2 is fine. 4-0 is not fine. Perfectly fine with sport. Terrible for an entertainment. Right? So, you know, we use some of the features of our system, the SADAR system. It works very well for this, because to manipulate things behind the scenes so the players really don't know what's going on, but it gets the results. Now, people new to the industry think that's a really good idea to have individual stats and scoring on public display. Even worse, to put those up onto the internet, for example, and for public display. You know, as if you're going to create some sort of global computer gaming thing, right? Well, I've got to tell you, that's a really bad idea. Why is it a bad idea? Well, because that moves you against being able to adjust the games. You know, we need to manipulate it because everyone needs to get a win. They're there for a couple hours to be entertained, right? They're not trying to become hardcore regulars, right? Yes, SATAR and other systems can do that, but I've got to tell you that the successful businesses really get it that you need to be an entertainment, not a sport. right? The other thing about when you run a sport, and I've tried that. I've run clan wars and I've done all that, and right. But you know what? It attracts the customers. Generally, not all of them, but generally, that all businesses rather not have. They're the sort of customers that demand from you the sun, the moon, the stars, and want you to do more and more and more for them. But as time goes on, they want to pay less, less and less. And they start acting like they own the place, right? They cease to be respectful in a lot of ways. They are, and if they don't get their way, they'll really, really create you a lot of grief. So much time, so that it distracts you from looking after the real customers, which might be the church group organizer, the youth group organizer, the scout group organizer, the mum of the birthday parties. The people really are lovely people to deal with, right? I've done a lot of gaming in my life. Obviously, I've been a gamer since the early 80s. And I have found that when you get really serious, it actually degrades pretty quickly. You want to keep it light, you want to keep it fun, and you don't want a system that works against you. You want a system that works with you in achieving that outcome, right? So you definitely don't want to be doing individual scoring. What we do with our system, just aside, we do have a game and session stat at the end on their LCD, and if they want, they can compare their stats to their friends, and that's fine. But they only share what they want to share. They will share things like, what was my accuracy percentage? I'm better than yours. Oh, I got so many kills, or if you're playing a late-stage theme, I got so many deactivations, right? Or, oh, look, my assist to wound ratio is better than yours, or whatever they want. It's not a score, and that's really important. They can share what they want, or they may not share at all, right? They can control that, right? And that is really just it's all you need. I've run so many games. I run more games, I think, probably on the field. I run games every weekend, right? Unless I'm overseas, which is right. And I've done that for 15 years. I probably run more games than just about anyone else alive. And I can tell you, that's what you need, right? Don't invest in technology that actually distracts you, moves you away from what the core business is. It doesn't matter how cool it is, right? It's the wrong path for commercial success. I worked that out years ago, and that's critical.